Fun, fun. Let's see. Let's pull it out here. And come on in. Hey, hey, hey. How's it going? Can you hear me? Can you see me okay? Let me know if you're having trouble. Perfect. Okay, good. All right. Well, welcome back. I know I haven't seen you in a bit. Hopefully some more people swing through. Sunday is a test day, so we'll see. Well, it's Sunday for me. It's not Sunday for you, is it? Is it Monday already? You're in the future. But today my plan is I'm gonna continue working on Frieren. A lot has changed since the last time you saw. I mean, you've seen some of the updates on Instagram, I think. But it's definitely moved along since you were popped in stream, which is going to be cool. And I also want to work on a really cool gift for my wife. I'm not sure if I'm going to get it done for Christmas, but I'll at least kind of like have it start it going. It's a holiday thing. She likes holiday earrings. It's a big thing for her. Every day from October all the way through December, she has a different holiday earring for all the seasons. And yeah, so I want to kind of start working on that. I thought it would be a fun thing to do on stream because it'll get me going on that project, and maybe I'll have it done in time for Christmas, or at least something showable for her. So yeah, with that, I'm just gonna start cooking, and if people pop in, then people pop in. You're here, so that's all I need. So let's see, let's get going. Back on my Frieren stuff. Come on, pop in. There we go. There she is. So yeah, last you left off, we might have been, because you were there like one of the first streams. I don't remember if it was the second or if it was like the first. But where I was, it's kind of, it was early days. Like I didn't even think I got this far. After the stream, I pushed the body a little bit further to this, and then kind of kept reworking it until finally I got the body done, and now here we are. Hey, what's up, Zach? Good to see you. And real quick is nice. Thanks for popping in. Yeah, so I'm just gonna continue working on the face here. Let's see, Yara Elf looks nearly done. I would say it's pretty close. I need to finish the ears. I want to make her earrings. I got to figure out how I want to tackle that, because in the anime, in the anime, her earrings are very floaty. So I gotta have to figure out a way for them to connect, and I'll probably bulk them up a little bit if I want these things to print. And yeah, so let's see. I need to kind of start looking at her, or actually where I was last time, the big thing that I was working on was her eyes. So I'm probably going to get back on that, because I kind of roughed in her eyelashes, but I want to fine tune that, because right now they're a little chunky and we're seeing a little bit more lid than I'd like. So I'm just gonna shift stuff around. And yeah, you guys can get acquainted, get to know each other a little bit, ask questions. I know in a Discord that I'm in with Smurf, we're talking about actually watching the show at some point. I know I'm one of the ones that keeps holding it up, because I have been so busy during this holiday season. Lots been going on. Twitch is part of it. Another part of it was the whole Kickstarter thing, which succeeded. So thank goodness for that. That was a really big win for all of us involved. And just the general holidays, I'm sure you guys understand. Well, it'll be different for you though, Smurf, because you don't celebrate Christmas, correct? Let's see, how long do you think this project may take? That's a good question. I think I'm pretty close to finishing the mod. If I don't finish it tonight, which I probably won't because I'm only going to spend an hour on her, I'll probably spend like another week, no more than that, just getting her done in this kind of A pose. And then what I'm going to do is start figuring out the actual statue kind of pose that I want to do. And that could extend it another few weeks, depending on what other elements I need to build, because I need to build her staff. I know I want to do something involving her magic. I would like to do a flying or floating pose of some sort, which means I'm going to have to engineer parts that will make her look like she's floating, but obviously she's got to have some sort of grounding so she can, you know, exist in reality, because it's just a statue. So it's hard to say. Still probably like another month, I would say, of streaming this project. It might go a little quicker, maybe 2 more streams, 3 more streams minimum, but it might go a little bit longer. I'm not rushing it, so we'll see. But I am happy with how it's been turning out. It's been fun to do this, 1, just in general, and 2, it's been fun to work on something for me. So right now I'm just kind of changing the eyelashes a little bit. And if I'm going through menus fast, I know you guys aren't digital modelers per se, so if I'm going through stuff quickly and you're actually interested in what I'm doing, go ahead and ask. I don't mind taking a moment to stop and talk about what I'm doing. In general, I'm gonna just kind of move fast as I work, but like I said, I don't mind sharing the knowledge regardless of if it's going to be useful to you or you're just interested. I like sharing and spreading the word of art. It's better than all the AI bullshit that's out there, you know? Let's see. It's funny, right now it says I have 1 viewer, but I know there's 2 of you here. So I wonder if that viewer count is just kind of live people hanging out aside from, or if it's just miscounting. So let's see. So I have this here. I think that is pretty close. I can probably thin this out, but also I don't want this to like not register once it prints. Let's see. Hey! Thanks for joining. Let's see. You made some in-game maps, but think... See, it's Alienware to me. Ah, yeah. Yeah. I understand that. But yeah, no, this has been a fun project. It will take a few more weeks at least, but I'm not, like I said, I'm not going to rush it. I kind of want to continue to have fun with it and play with it and be organic with it. Now I'm going to try to add these flyaway lashes. I could build off of this geometry, but I feel like just adding 3 individual bits is going to make it a little bit easier and less complicated. And it's going to blend in pretty well. So let's see, using the curved brush, I need to adjust something on this brush because it wasn't lining up the way I wanted it to. Wait, picker, there we go. Okay. Ooh, and I think I'm going to change my stroke because one of the things that's cool with this brush is it can create just like a straight tube, but it also does this modification where you can change the size of various parts of the tube, so you can kind of make it more pointed, and this will give me that kind of like hair follicle look, which I like. All right. I'm just going to kind of rough it in and then, you know, get it close. Doesn't need to be exact. And then I'm going to commit it and I'm going to reposition it based off of how the reference is looking. So it looks like it's a little bit further over here. We got 3 of them. So 1, 2, copy paste. It's your friend when you're doing 3D models sometimes. And 3. Let's see, what I'm going to do is I'm going to group these. I'm going to turn off paint real quick because I have them darkened. I'm going to just kind of see where they're at. Okay. See, that's more accurate. Now it says I have 3 viewers, and there are 3 people that I know that are in here. Oh, my dashboard went away. Come back. There we go. Now I can see you again. And by the way, thank you for being a first-time viewer. I'm glad that you're swinging through. It's nice to see friends come through. Might I ask, are you watching on your phone, or are you watching on your TV or your computer? I'm always curious to how different people watch. When I watch Twitch, it's mostly on my phone, but it varies. It depends on what I'm doing. Let's see. Yeah, there we go. That's looking a little bit better. I think I'm going to also open her eye up a little bit. I don't like this shape that I have. It's a little bit more... You're watching on your phone. Cool. Her eye is a little bit more round, where I have it kind of teardrop shape right now. It's a little better. It's tough because this reference isn't super clean, but it's good enough, basically. I might throw a tear duct piece of geometry here eventually just to get something that stands out. Let's see. I was trying to sleep. Saw you're on your phone now. Let's see. What do you think about AI generally? That's a good question. I think there are a lot of things about it that I am very concerned with. Generally, I think it's not regulated and monitored enough. I don't think it's the only thing that is not regulated and monitored enough. But I think it is a very powerful tool that we do not know enough about, and it's not always in the hands of the best people. So it's just a kind of a tough thing. I occasionally use it for recreational stuff. There's I do find it fun as far as like exploring, talking to characters, and kind of getting a feel for world development when it comes to storytelling. But I wouldn't ever, if using it in that way, I wouldn't ever lift anything from the AI and say this is what I'm using as far as in the storytelling. As far as art and stuff like this, algorithmic stuff has been used for a long time in my world, and all this really is just a more advanced algorithmic model of curating data and getting through different processes and streamlining things. And I think using it to get to a finished product is a bad idea because I don't think it does it well, and I'm not sure it ever will do it well because it doesn't really create it. Cherry picks, and not in a, what I want to say, intelligent way. That's why I think it's funny that they call it artificial intelligence, because I don't feel like there's an intelligence there. It's just kind of observing, and they say it's learning, but it's not even really learning in the way that we learn. So yeah, especially people making deep fakes. Friends of mine surface. Oh man, that's rough. Yeah, that kind of stuff. It's gross. All in all, but it's our world now. Hooray! Yeah, I generally am not a fan, and not because of the AI, but it's more because of the user. I don't think people are going to use it responsibly. All right, so I'm going to start working on the ear here. And we'll see how far we get, because really this is like the biggest last part that I want to take it before I start figuring out the statue aspects. Because as soon as we get into the statue stuff, I'm gonna change the expression, move a lot of stuff around, might rebuild some parts. Hopefully won't have to. Most of this stuff should be workable, and I'll be able to position it, reposition it, and resculpt it to whatever I'm doing. But sometimes it just really depends on what's being done. It might be quicker to rebuild, which is not a bad thing to have to redo some of that stuff, because I'll still have this model as a base that I can use for other projects if I want to do something else with Frieren. Like, it would still be fun to possibly do an action figure of her. There are no Frieren action figures out there in the world, and I'm not expecting that I would make one that would go out into the world, but I definitely would enjoy to have one of my own until one exists. I know there's some import companies have made some, but I have not yet really looked into them. So let's see. Now this is the part where I'm deciding whether I want to keep working on the model at this level, where it's the lower geometry. It has looked all smooth only because that's like in a preview mode. So that's not actually, the model isn't actually smoothed out right now. I just hit a button and it kind of smooths it. It simulates the smoothing. But I'm debating, now that I'm getting to the ears, if I want to start subdividing it, which is basically adding quads, these four-sided shapes, which basically is adding more detail, because then I can start sculpting, kind of like I did with the hair. So as you can see, the hair, there's lines going through it and detail, and that's because I subdivided the surface. I can still step down to this lower level where you can see the wire frame, but I divided it up and up and up until it got to the point where I could actually, you know, sculpt into it. So it'll just depend if I can do that with the ear. Hello, Adam V3D. Sorry, I'm a snoop. I check and see who's here every once in a while. So even if you haven't chatted yet, I might see you pop in. But thanks for popping in. It's nice to see people on a Sunday. This is a test. You know, with the holidays, Saturdays are busy. And for a lot of people, I think Saturdays are a tough day. Hello. Saturdays are a tough day. I've had some success with Saturdays so far. Had a decent turnout. But yeah, I think we will see. I'm going to do Sundays for the next 2 weeks because of the holiday season. And we'll see how they go. And I might ask folks that come in what their Sundays are normally like. And then we'll probably hit back to Saturdays and I'll do some comparing and contrasting and pull people that way. Let's see. It's shocking to see we can make more than a donut. Yeah, it is true. Yes, we can make more than a donut in the 3D space. All right, I think I am going to subdivide this body finally because I really want to get this ear stuff sculpted in. And I might remove the color and change the material for now, just so I can see a little bit better. So her ear is very interesting. It only has this kind of like one section that has kind of that extruded shape that we see in our ears, and because her ear is longer, it's that elf ear. It's a very interesting looking version of what our ears do. And there's also a bit of a sharper angle here. So once my autosave stops, I'm going to adjust the ear shape just a little bit and then start sculpting in this internal portion of the ear. And then we'll see how that goes. And then after I finish the ear and maybe a few other more details. Oh yeah, I wanted to do the earring as well. After I do that, my plan is, hey, Josh Brown, what's up? Thanks for swinging through. What's with the shocked eyes? Is it because I'm here on a Sunday instead of a Saturday? Or is there something else going on, man? But thank you for swinging through. I really appreciate it. I'm really excited to see kind of what people think about me streaming on a Sunday versus a Saturday. Let's see. Oh, I thought it just meant I was, yeah, hey, no, I mean, if that's what it means, then that's what it means. Sometimes it looks almost wide-eyed, so sometimes it's that kind of like suspicious eyes it can be used. But yeah, no, you are watching, and that is an accurate emoji to use for that. Let's see, what was I saying? Oh yeah, so I'm going to finish off her ear, and then I'm also going to, the last hour of my stream today, start working on a project that I have meant to work on for quite some time now, which is, I had mentioned earlier in the stream that my wife really likes wearing earrings for the holidays. She posts on Instagram all the earrings that she wears throughout the holiday seasons, starting in October. She starts all the way back at that point. And she has a lot of fun with it. She wears a different set of earrings every day, and she has far more than the days of each month for each kind of holiday. So she does Halloween-ish style earrings for October. She does fall and Thanksgiving styled earrings all through November. And then clearly we know in December she does winter and Christmas themed earrings. So what I want to do, something that she has wanted, is she's a big fan of the tree cakes. I don't know if anybody is familiar with the tree cakes. That, I don't remember, it's Little Debbie. I know it's not Hostess, but there's a company that makes tree cakes, and she likes them a lot. And she had talked about trying to find some tree cake earrings, but was having trouble. And I said, I can just make those, and I haven't done it yet. So I want to do that. So I'm going to start that today on stream as kind of a surprise. Let's see, I kind of start to do this with my necklaces. Yeah. See, does she do bracket style relations to determine which earring? No, she doesn't. She has basically a couple different racks of earrings, and it's wherever the winds take her. Sometimes what she will do is she'll do like a theme of the week. So during Halloween, she might do a week of ghosts and a week of zombies and that kind of thing. But no, she doesn't bracket. Although that might be a fun thing to do at some point. I'll ask her, because it might be fun to get people kind of involved with like the earring choices. She can maybe start in September and see if people can like help her choose like which ones to wear when. But I don't know if she wants to get that deep into it. But yeah, no, it's pretty much what she does is she just, she kind of decides a theme for that week, and then if she's not really feeling to put that much effort into it, she just kind of looks and picks for the day. Let's see. Oh, that spun real quick. Come on, ZBrush. There we go. Don't look. All right, let's see. Getting there. Might have to divide it up a little bit more, maybe one step more, because I don't like what's going on here. A little bit better. But yeah, so that's what I'm going to do with the latter half of the stream today. I'm going to work on some tree cake earrings for my lovely wife. And will she know that I'm doing this? I don't know. I don't think that she will be popping into my stream. I think she's going to be paying attention to our lovely son and watching fun things that she likes to watch. So I think it's kind of funny that I can kind of do this out in the open, and she probably won't know that I'm doing it unless she can hear me from downstairs, which also is a possibility. But I'm going to do it anyway, because it's not super secret. She knew it was something that I said I would do for her. But clearly, haven't done it yet, and we get busy. So I'm going to take the opportunity. All right, let's see. Let's get back to, nope. Ooh, that's creepy looking. Don't like that. All right, let's get back to the shader there. There we go. All right, that's looking kind of good. All right, I think now I can do her earrings. I can probably do her earrings really quick. It's there's a teardrop shape, a long red teardrop shape, and then there's a like half sphere that's above. So that's not going to take too long to do at all. So what I just got to do is pick a shape or something where I can drag in a sphere, because we can just drag in the shapes that we want. Actually, first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to make this lobe a bit bigger too, because I can tell there's more real estate here than what I have here. And if I'm going to be doing the earrings, I want to make sure that she's got a lobe at least. Let's see. How was everyone's weekend? Did anybody do anything fun? Are you watching anything fun? Are you doing holiday prep? What you got going on, folks? Let's see. I know sometimes it's really easy to zone out and kind of just watch what I'm doing, but I do like the chat. It helps keep me going, it keeps me motivated, and it helps me feel like I'm not just talking to myself. I know what one of you did this weekend, because I was with you. Let's see, trying to make it through one more week of work before a couple weeks off. Oh, you get a couple weeks off? That's cool, dude. Are you a teacher? Or, what do you do? Because I'm lucky in the sense that I actually get the whole week of Christmas off, which is unusual because I'm not in any a typical job that would get multiple weeks or even a week off for Christmas. But they started doing that for us at the studio a few years back. So I'm excited about that. Let's see, nope, work a bit, practice guitar, nothing much. Cool. Let's see, no, I just don't take vacation through. Oh, okay, yeah, that's a good way to do it. Don't take your vacation, do it all at the end of the year. That's not a bad way to do it. I kind of do the same thing because I used to actually take the week off after Christmas because the in-laws and the family and I would go on a trip together. And we're kind of still doing that, but it's going to be a little bit different this year. It's not the same trip that we used to take. So I used to use my vacation around this time as well for the same kind of reasons, because I don't use it a lot during the year. I use it like in summer a little bit, and then winter, take a nice vacation with the family. But now we get this week of Christmas off, which is just really nice leading up. I've really liked it now that that's a thing that like we get to do. All right. So ear is kind of where I want it for now. It's dragon sphere. Oh, I need to find a bit. I think this will work. There we go. Okay. Actually, active symmetry. I want it on both sides. There we go. Okay. Now we got two spheres to work with. And we're going to split it from the rings up here. Split unmasked. Then we're going to drag these things down. This is just stuff from my menu off to the side here. I don't even know if you guys can see this stuff. Let's see. No, I just don't take vacation. Oh, okay, I already read that. Let's see. This week after Christmas is the week after Christmas is the best. I need to read, Kevin. I really need the reset. It goes fast though, and I always give myself some project to do. Yep, no, I hear you, man. I hear you indeed. All right, so first I'm going to do this. I'm going to do two things. I got two bits of geometry here. I'm going to extend this bit, and I'm going to start to round off the bottom a little bit more. Drag that down. think I'm going to kind of taper that a little bit. Extend that a little bit more. Maybe make it a little bit bigger. It's not going to be exact to what her earrings are like. And mostly that's because I just won't be able to produce those earrings. So I want to get the rough general shape, but they're going to be a lot bigger in general. And I might even change them further once I get to the point where I'm getting this thing ready for print. Just because I don't want them to not be able to work. Let's see. We start to work with my friend Freelance. He's gonna start a company. I hope it works out because I love flexible work at midnight. Yeah. No, yeah, a good flexible work schedule is just it's hard to beat. During the pandemic, which we all had interesting relationships with our jobs and work at that point. I got to work from home. The studio that I am with was still functioning. And I worked, a typical shift still through the day, but it kind of felt like setting my own schedule in a way. So even though I was still working a particular 8-hour shift, there was a level of flexibility there. Let's shrink this down a little bit. Line that up better, and then we're gonna, I know what I need to do. So sometimes what's weird with this software, I'll show you. So you can see we have two sides here. This is symmetry, symmetrical. They're identical on both halves. So I should, in theory, be able to move one side and it affects the other side the same way. But sometimes when you're dealing with multiple objects that have been mirrored at different points, it doesn't do that. It does weird things. So the solution to this is to turn off symmetry temporarily, hide and delete one half, and then mirror them again. And now, if I turn symmetry back on, there we go. It's fine. So I don't know what actually does that. I think it's when creating something from a brush instead of, I don't know. I can't even explain it. I don't know why it works that way, but it does. And that is the solution that I have come up with over the years that works best for me. All right, so in the joys of continuing to color this thing, even though the color is just kind of for me and for the stream, it's not going to translate into reality. I'm going to add color to these bits. Fill object, switch, grab this gold color, fill object. We'll do the smoothing, and there we go. So yeah, those earrings are way bigger. I'll change some stuff, but those will probably be somewhat producible. There'll still be breakage issues when I print it out, but sometimes it might survive. I also might have to just bite the bullet and print them out individually, really small, and then just glue them in place, which, sometimes you have to do that with really, really small parts that are breakable. It's better to print them separate and attach them rather than try to print them as part of the model. in reality, if I was doing this for production anyway, that would probably be a separate part because it just wouldn't be producible. Drinking water. Really smart. Let's see. So as a software engineer, I want to explain the problem as I see. No idea to. I'm not quite understanding that. I kind of get what you're saying, but I think there's something a little bit lost in the translation. Is that referring to what you were saying before? Let's see. We start to work with my friend's freelance. He's going to start a company. I hope it works because of flexibility. So as a software engineer, I want to explain the problem as I have no idea to. I kind of get the first half. You might need to rephrase, if you don't mind, Smurf. If you don't want to, that's fine. This could be my brain not getting it. But I do get the idea, like, you know, as a software engineer, you have this need to explain the problem that you're working with. Okay. Even when you, is it that you that you have a need to explain a problem even when you don't know how to quite solve it yet? Which, that makes sense to me. I think that might be what you're getting at. But if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. Let's see. We got a little bit more time before midstream, so I thought it might be fun to, let's see, where did my eye reference go? Here we go. There's a little bit of eyelash kind of indication at the bottom here, but I think I'm going to add the pupil and color that too. Let's see. I might not do that. I might just color it first. Use the reference and color, and then paint. This will be fun because this will actually be painting rather than just filling object. Let's see. I love how you deal with my best. Hey, I'm doing my best. I don't want to, like, not understand you, man. And I know that English isn't your first language. And I would say most of the time, dude, I cannot tell that English is not your first language. So it makes me want to make the effort the few times that I can't quite understand, because I know that we can figure it out. But I also do totally get the fact that it's like, if you are having trouble wrapping your head around explaining it, and you just don't want to put the effort in, I get it. Let's see. Yeah, I mean, we do have to, like, so for those of you who don't know, I met Smurf through Discord. He's the moderator for a mutual friend, and we only know each other through chats, except for he has seen me on streams. But he is planning to do some movie night or streaming night things where we're all in voice chat, and so it'll be kind of good fun for all of us to hear each other. So I'm looking forward to that. I know there's another Discord that I'm on where we do movie nights, and it's been really fun to kind of hear everybody. I really like that because it's just another level of getting to know everyone. Chat's fun. It is, but I really, really like hearing voices and being able to communicate back, which, ironically enough, I also kind of hate in the sense of phone calls. I don't like making phone calls. They give me a lot of anxiety. And I don't know if I'm the only one that feels that way in this chat, but yeah, man, don't like making phone calls. But I do like talking with my friends. So let's see. So this is about what I want. So I'm going to actually change a brush that I use a lot. I'm glad I'm not alone. Thanks, Josh. I appreciate it. But yeah, no, phone calls I don't like. See, even with friends sometimes. No, yeah, I agree. See, it's the opposite for me. I hate chatting. Yeah. Well, I mean, we're all different for sure. I like chatting with voice um, in certain situations. I'm more like Josh, where even with friends, there's like a few friends where I'm like, I want to talk on the phone with you just because like I need to hear your voice, and my body's willing to make that extra effort. But most of the time, I really don't like to be on the phone at all. But I do like chatting, typing chatting. That I can do. And that probably to a fault because I am a quick responder when it comes to chatting. Type chat, not voice chat. And see, can we hop on a call? Is the worst thing a human could say to you. What was I saying? What was the way I was saying it? I'm a quick responder because I will forget, and I'm also chronically online, so it's really easy for me to just respond really quickly. If I'm not responding really quickly, there's usually some pretty solid reason where I'm like, I just can't talk right now. But typically, I respond very quickly to anyone who's reaching out to me. But most people are not the same. Most people do not respond quickly. Sometimes there's a good conversation to be had, but a lot of people are just, it takes them a while. And for me, that builds up anxiety that that's something that I need to work on, because not everybody has to meet my same communication style. And just because they haven't responded right away does not mean that they don't ever want to talk to me again, which my brain sometimes tells me, and it's something that I work on all the time because I know it's not true. Let's see. Now, if it's serious conversation, a call is needed because, no, yeah, exactly. No, you're correct there. See, there are times when I realize a call is necessary. Yep. I mean, really, that's the same for me. For the most part, I would prefer, like I said, to just use typing because I'm more comfortable that way, and also it's easier for me to communicate that way for whatever reason. But divide the eye up a little bit more. But yeah, I do prefer typing over voice communication for the most part. Okay. So I'm kind of just like crisping this up because clearly it came from a low res image. And since it came from this low res image, it's not the prettiest looking. So I'm just kind of messing with it, cleaning up the paint. So yeah, you can do some pretty good painting in ZBrush. It's not the best, but it can get the job done for the most part. Clearly, like solid color stuff, it does really well. And also clearly, like, this is for me, this is just, I don't need to do this. I'm just kind of having fun with it. Well, as we approach the hour, which we're actually pretty close to, so I'm almost done here, and then we're going to switch gears. We'll run some ads, and then I'll start working on the earrings. But I am pretty happy with where we got tonight with Frieren. Let's see. I'm going to set up bi-weekly calls. I'm going to start. It's fine with me, man. Like I said, like if there's a good reason to, I don't mind the phone call. Let's see. Okay. So you said something, Smith. Hold on just a sec. There's that highlight there. And then I want to crisp up. The center here. So she looks a little wall-eyed, but that's okay. I can actually probably move this in just a little bit. And actually what I would do, and what I am going to do real quick, again, before we're up, I'm actually going to swap these highlights, which that's kind of a big indicator. Let's see. Wow, the eyes look pretty. Yeah, aren't they? Like it's a cool. I really like her design, just in general. And it's nice when you got some good reference and some cool tools. You can just quickly lay this kind of stuff in. Like I probably could have done this by hand, but it's much easier to just kind of come in here, use the reference to project the stuff on. Let's see. Hey, Mooney Vader 123. Thanks for popping in. Hey, and thanks for the follow. I appreciate it. Appreciate it a lot. Right now we're just working on Frieren. Funny enough, I'm actually going to stop in a little bit because I'm going to start working on another project, which is I'm really excited about. I might jump back on a Frieren a little later in the stream, so if that's what you were coming here for, I'm sorry. Yes, welcome, Mooney. But what I'm going to do, I'll repeat what I've kind of talked to the rest of the chat about, is there is a project that I've been meaning to do for my wife. She wears holiday earrings, and she has wanted a set of tree cake, the holiday tree cakes, in earring form, and I have not done that for her yet, and I thought it would be a fun project to do on stream. So after I finish up the eyes real quick here, I'm going to run some ads. And then I'm going to start working on that project. But yeah, really appreciate you being here. Oh, thanks. I appreciate that you think it looks really cool. Here, let me zoom out. So here we go. This is her so far. I still have some work on the face. Here, let me pull up my main reference. It's not exact because she's kind of posed in this piece of reference, so I kept her legs straight and a little bit less of a gesture. I need to work on her face a little bit more, but it's tough because the different reference kind of has different fullness to her face. So I'm just trying to figure out how full I actually want her face to be. Also, her nose is a bit thinner, and it disappears a lot in the front view, but in the profile view, it's pretty pronounced. So I'm trying to find that happy medium. But yeah, here she is so far. Actually, I think that little bit of fullness that I added there was helpful. I can also make her mouth smaller, but again, I don't want to make the mouth too small because once it gets into the point of making expressions, clearly there's going to be stuff that has to happen there. I might even need to go back in and put like an interior because I don't know if she'll have an open mouth for whatever the final statue is going to be. But yeah. All right, so with this being where we're at, what I am going to do right now is run some ads because now I'm an affiliate. That's really fun. And then that'll give us an uninterrupted hour for the next bit. Also, let me save what I've done so far. Saving in my Frieren folder. Always save your work, folks. Really important. Try to save frequently. I know sometimes it's easy to get lost in what you're doing and not save as often as you should, but this is just your reminder. We can all do a little bit better. All right, ads are starting now. I'll see you guys in about 3 minutes. Maybe a little bit sooner because some people it doesn't run the full 3 minutes. And we're back. All right, all right. Thanks for sticking around. Those that did, new faces, happy to have you. So yeah, so we're stopping right here with Frieren. I am pretty happy with the progress. It doesn't seem like a lot because we did just a lot of minor stuff on the face. And I still might change some things, but right now I think she's looking pretty good. She's looking pretty good from the profile. Like how she looks from the front. I still have to consider her in 3D space, so I might adjust some of this stuff. But yeah, there we go. So with that, let me save again, because usually even if I just save things, I always second guess myself and still save again. And now what I want to do is I want to bring in the reference that I'm going to use for the tree cake. And we're going to try to speed through this a little bit. All right, desktop, documents. And then we're going to change to columns. There we go. Now I'm going to find Christmas tree cakes, because like I said, I intended to start this a long time ago. So if you don't know what a Christmas tree cake is, you're about to find out. This is a Christmas tree cake. Let me make it less transparent. It's a holiday thing that's actually been hard to find the past couple years, which is really funny, but the kid likes them, the wife likes them, I occasionally partake, and my wife wants earrings of these. They are not the most incredible dessert in the world, but they're a fun little snack that comes around every year. It's kind of like, you know, the McRib. Like, the McRib, it comes, it goes. It's not the best thing in the world, but it has this particular flavor to it, and when it's gone and then it comes back, you're like, yeah. See, ooh, just as I thought. It's a tree as a cake. That's, yeah, it's not a big surprise, but it's a very specific thing. There's a bunch of cakes that are trees out there, but this particular thing is different. Let's see. I can't believe your Christmas tree cake reference. Yep, it's chocolate, but that's the harder one to find. And here's the thing, my wife hates white chocolate, which is like the other kind. So this is the one that she wants. This is the one that she gets, man. So yeah, so I am going to bring up this shape as kind of my starting shape, and I'm going to turn it into a cube real quick, because that's what I really want to start with. So pressing to, yes. Okay, there's a really quick trick here. So here is my cube, and it's got some subdivisions already. And now all I gotta do is figure out how I want to shape it. So what I'm probably gonna do first, funnily enough, is get rid of some of these other subdivisions, so it's just a straight up cube. And then I'm going to make my reference not compete with the other images and do a little transparency like I had it before. Okay. So I think what I want to do is I want to start at the bottom. Autosave. That's another thing. This program does autosave, which is good, but sometimes it autosaves at the most inopportune times, and it's annoying as hell. It's supposed to do a frequency autosave where it does it at a certain amount of time, but I find that it does it whenever it wants to, and usually it's in the middle of something that I'm doing, and it messes with the momentum of my work, and it can be just really frustrating sometimes. So yeah. All right. So first, what we're gonna do is I'm gonna kind of decide roughly if I like this thickness, and I think I do. So I'm going to shrink this down to get roughly this shape. right here. I might make it a little wider too. So since this reference is kind of funky, it's in this, you know, forced perspective, not forced perspective. It's kind of perspective, a perspective shot, and clearly it is, you know, one view. It does make it a little bit more challenging. So I have to kind of make decisions as I go. Educated guesses. So first, I'm going to do that. Okay. So I want to kind of roughly do it because, again, these shapes that are very organic, and I'll add that in there later. What? No way, dude. Smurf. Holy crap. First subscriber. That man, I really appreciate that. I was not expecting that. Wow, man, thanks. That really means a lot. I appreciate that a lot. All right, moving on. So, like I was saying, clearly this is kind of like an ugly shape, but I'm starting out very clean, and I don't want to start messing it up until I get much closer to the tree shape that I want. So I'm just starting making the basic geometry here. And clearly, oh man, love you too, dude. Really appreciate it. It's been really nice getting to know you in the Discord. Getting to know Selena and just everybody in there has been a joy. And so, yeah. Let's see. It's one ugly. This is chocolate. I did not know. You're blowing my mind, Josh, that you hate chocolate so much. Like, I get chocolate maybe not being a favorite. It's not my favorite, but it's chocolate, man. Oh, wait. Is the bazinga there because you're not telling the truth? Are you doing the sarcasm check? Or are you just messing with me? I don't know, man. Don't mess with me. It's super late. I just got my first subscriber from an awesome buddy, and I don't know if I can handle you messing with my brain in this way. All right, so this, I think, is our basic shape that we're going to start out with. So what I want to do now is I want to add some extra detail. So I want to add some subdivisions in here. Basically adding edge loops just so that way I can mess with it over time. And actually I am thinking it is looking a little too thick, so I am going to change that aspect of it. But it's not far off. There we go. Let's see. I actually had to order the chocolate because they were out of vanilla. They never had it. Okay, so here's the ironic thing, Josh, because like chocolate here I think is more popular, and we have the opposite problem where we always have the vanilla ones and it's hard to find the chocolate. So it's really wild to hear that you grew up on the vanilla and have a hard time getting that one and have to order chocolate as like the standby when we are having the opposite problem all the way over here on the West Coast. So that's funny. See, I'm gonna make breakfast and hopefully a bit of sleep. Thanks. Hey, thank you, Smurf, for popping through and staying as long as you did. Thanks for the sub. I super appreciate it. You definitely enjoy your meal and get some sleep, because I know it's our time difference is pretty wild. So thanks for popping through, and you have a good day, evening, morning, sleep, whatever it is. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Let's see. Not yucking anyone's yum, just joshing. That is what you do. See, we should shop for each other. That's that's what we should do. Well, you get the chocolate ones for us, and we'll get the vanilla ones for you, and then we'll just send them to each other. Although this year my wife has hit a jackpot because she got like 10 boxes of the chocolate ones, and she's been finding more. Where the last couple years it was like scarce. So I don't know what it is about this year. I don't know if people complained or what, but it hasn't been as big of a problem here. And I don't even know if she's been finding the vanilla one, so I'll have to ask her. I'm definitely going to tell her about this whole story about how you like the vanilla ones and always seem to find the chocolate ones. That is funny as heck. All right, so let's see. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to kind of simulate this. Let me make the reference not transparent anymore. So you see there's the cake layers and there's the frosting. So that means the center of it compresses in different points. So I'm going to try to do that. And also because it's flat on the bottom, because they stack the layers on top and they have the layer of chocolate on the bottom, I'm going to make kind of like a little bit of a lip that goes out. And that's what this whole thing right here is. That's why this special edge loop is here. I'm also going to just throw in here just to help do that. Actually, here, I'm going to throw these other special edge loops because we want the trunk to be more... We want the trunk to be a little bit sharper here, and we want the trunk to be a little bit sharper there. And then we want a little bit of that going on in this tree portion here too. So do a little bit of that, a little bit of, oh, nope, a little bit of that, a little bit of this. So I'm just trying to throw extra edge loops to kind of sharpen some areas. I can always walk it back with some smoothing, but just to get a little sharper. Let's see. Let's see. They're being delivered Wednesday. I look forward to my first Choco one. I'll report. Oh, so you haven't even had the chocolate ones before. That's wild, man. I'm really excited to hear that too. So yeah. All right, so let's see. Let's add some edge loops. Let's do some edge loops here on the front and back as well. Just to do this. There we go. All right, so now we have a pretty good foundation for this thing. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to kind of add some of the detail of the ridges in the sides to make it a little bit more organic. Let's see. So yeah. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to if you can hear my kid, he's getting ready for bed. I'm going to do a really cool feature where you can actually kind of control the elevation of the edge loop. And so, let's see, yeah, as you can see, I'm doing some indentation here. And I'm going to, actually what I'm going to do is I'm going to add a few more edge loops right here because I want this area where the frosting is to be a little bit thicker and it'll be a little bit more solid. And then I'm going to do what I did with the internal thing right here, and I'm going to start to do this. And there we go. So this is getting a little bit better. And then we're going to throw, I want to kind of flare out the back of the tree, because that is the part that is pressed against whatever plate that these things are, you know, coming off the assembly line of. So I'm going to go to the center here with my gizmo tool. For those of you that don't know, this is kind of just a movement tool. I use it to rotate and shift and also scale. So I'm going to flare this out a little bit, not too much. And then I'm going to make slight adjustments with, because I can do an overall scaling and I can also do directional scaling. But let's see how this looks with some of this like organic mess in there. So there we go. This is kind of like the rough version of it, which I think is fine. I actually like it a lot. I might flare out a little bit more the back here, but I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab more of this than I did before. So just a little flaring of everything else. Maybe a little bit to the side more. And then I might squish it just a little bit more. I feel like it's a little too thick. And then that frosting layer, I think, looks a little too thick. So I'm going to change that. There we go. So this is kind of my rough thing that I got going on right now. How is everybody doing? We got Josh, we got Mooney, we got Bidding Gobo. Thanks for coming in. Really happy to have you guys around. Now I'm going to try to rough this up. So right now, like I was saying with Frieren, there's kind of this subdivide preview that's happening when I press this button. But what I want to do is actually add more detail now. So I'm going to subdivide. Here, I'll put the wireframe on so you can see. Control Z. There we go. So I'm going to subdivide this, and as you can see, it kind of divides each quad and adds more detail. Now the difference between the preview and these multi-step subdivisions that I'm doing, which you can see kind of over here with the magnifying subdivision level. It's at subdivision level 5 right now. And what that allows me to do is it allows me to do more sculptural work on the surface here. Oh, hold on. This is still in color. There we go. So as you can see, I can do this right here. I can manipulate the surface like it was clay, which is what's really cool about this software. Let's see. It's starting to look better and better by the minute. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Yeah, that's a fun thing. A kind of funny thing today. I've talked on a few streams that in the beginning, projects look really, really ugly to start. It's kind of just by default because you're kind of feeling it out and you're figuring out what you're going to do. Let me take a drink of water. And it takes a while to take shape, and so it's challenging at the start to remind yourself. It's challenging and important to remind yourself that it's okay that it looks ugly. And somebody did a post kind of talking about that today that I shared on my Instagram, KGart82. If you don't follow me on Instagram there. same as my Twitch. But yeah, he just talked about in a really quick, succinct way that projects start off ugly, and it's all part of it. It's part of that. You play through it, you work things out, and in the end, trust the process, trust your skills, push through. It always comes together, as long as you don't get hung up on that stuff. So another thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to kind of smooth out these things because they do look a little bit too uniform. So I'm going to step down a couple subdivision levels, and I'm going to use my smooth brush and kind of just like do little taps. So it's not perfect. Kind of get rid of some of that stuff. And then as I step up, I'm going to do some more tappy smoothies. So there's going to still be like hints of this geometry that I put there, but it's going to start to go away. And since I'm not doing it symmetrically, it's going to start to change the shape of the tree and do it in a more organic fashion, which is kind of what we want. Because look at this thing. It's lumpy, it's misshapen, and that's the look that we want in the end. Like this point over here, it's a little bit more pointy, it's a little bit more round over here. You know, even though these things are like made on an assembly line in a factory, they're not perfect. Poise pad ad. Are you getting ads? That's interesting. I'm still trying to figure out these ads, man. So I can run my own ads. And right now it says for me, ads aren't going to start for another like 40 minutes. It could be different because you came in a little bit later, so maybe you're on like a different cycle. But I don't. Was it you last time that was like, oh yeah, my ads lasted like a couple seconds compared to like the 3 minutes that they're kind of supposed to run. So I'm still wrapping my head around the whole ads thing, but it is what it is. All right, let's see. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to mess with something that I haven't messed with on stream before, which is the surface manipulator kind of tool. It's called Surface, and basically I can add noise. You can see that I have like a little window. Well, here, let me move chat. Let me move you guys up over here for now, so it's not covering this thing. And basically I can add texture to the surface with some sliders here. So you can see it makes it kind of like more grainy. And when I change the scale of that, it does some cool stuff. So I gotta be careful. Let's see, let's drop the strength. There we go. Now this isn't the same lumpiness that I want, but it's close. I think I want to do a little bit more than what it looks like. And then I'll apply it. And there we go. That actually doesn't look too bad. I'm going to go through and like kind of like smooth some stuff out here and there. But this is a good start. Actually, I'm going to step it back just a little bit. And I'm going to mask off this back bit because this should be flat. Really, really, really flat. I'm actually going to step down the subdivision levels. Just grab that because I kind of lost a bit of that flare. So I'm going to get that back. And I'm going to step back up. And I'm going to apply the mask, or apply the surface noise to this. And now, since I had the mask on, it protected that back section there. Let's see. Oh, it was at the bottom. Okay. Yeah, I think the banner ads run through. Let's see. I have side ads when I have it full screen. All right, yeah. I mean, that's cool. If it's still running ads on the side, that's neat. It'll be interesting to kind of learn from your guys' perspective how the ads work from time to time, because I know when I run the 3-minute ads, it shows on my end that it's running 3 minutes of ads. But there's some people that have been like, oh yeah, my ads are done in like 20 seconds. And I don't know what that means for me. If it means that even though I see 3 minutes of ads running, only 20 seconds ran, so I only get a cut of 20 seconds, or if there's something else that's like shifted because you guys are getting banners as well, if that like is offsetting that. So yeah, it'll be interesting to see how that all kind of works out. But yeah, so I'm going to go through and I'm going to smooth all this stuff out, because even though it's lumpy, it's not like super gravelly like this texture kind of is. So I get that to kind of get me partway there, and then I go through and smooth through. So there we go. So it's looking a little bit better. I might I'm not going to do exactly this same tree cake, and I might even do two that look a little bit different. What I actually am going to do, which will be fun, is, so I'm going to make obviously one tree cake to start with, and one of them is going to have like a bite taken out of it. But first, before I do that, I need to do the one that works, of the full one. Let's see, so I think I'm going to try to get this like round bit though, because I kind of like that detail. So let me mess with this lower level geometry and kind of shift this around and see what I can do here. Kind of manipulate this, because it gets kind of bulbous there too. So I'm going to pull this back and then inflate this a little bit, so it almost looks like kind of like a little bit too much chocolate pooled up in this section right here when they were pumping it through the machine. Let's see. You're going to put a little hole in the chocolate in the back too. I should be eating one right now. I did think about that. I forgot about it when I was kind of preparing. It would have been a good idea. I thought about going down and still trying to get one, but nah. We'll see. It'll depend, because it might take me like another stream to work on this. So I might maybe do that next stream as a celebration once I finish the project. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to kind of like go through and try to find the frosting, because the frosting is not going to compress as much as the cake. And so I'm going to try to find where that is going to stand out a little bit more. Let's see, should print these at 1. You know, that's not a bad idea. I think I might do that too. So I that's a good idea, Josh. I will do that, and we will talk about that, because that might be a fun thing to throw up in the store if you are interested in doing that. Yes. So I know there'll be two versions. There'll be the ones with the bite out of them, and there'll be the ones that are full. Let's see. All right. All right. So yeah. So I'm gonna go through and try to like define the frosting just a little bit throughout this thing. Just a little bit. And again, I'm trying to do it organically. I'm not trying to put too much pressure on it because of the nature of this thing. Let's see. When you're done with this project, are you going to eat one on stream? Yeah, that's what I was saying. Yeah, I think I might just do that. That's kind of what Josh was alluding to. He thought I should be eating one right now, which not a bad idea, but I didn't do it. So I think that'll be my celebratory thing. What I'll do is I'll probably hold up on finishing this up, because I'll probably work on it a little bit through the week, but I'll wait to finish it next stream, and then we'll do a celebration of eating the tree cake. Hey, maybe you'll have yours by then too, Josh, so you can eat one with me. See, very tiny. I wonder how well it will come out. I mean, that is true. It would be very tiny. I think I probably would upscale it a little bit. Yeah, may have to upscale it just so it reads. And I think that'll be fine. I don't think anybody would complain too much about it being bigger, not completely accurate, The center ridge is a nice touch. Thank you. I mean, it's there. I've done this long enough in this world where those details kind of stand out to me. It's what makes, this stuff feel real, is noticing those little touches. And finding the story, even in like little props and stuff like this. Like, what is the nature of it? What makes it what it is? What helps it stand out a little bit? But yeah, I definitely appreciate y'all hanging out with me. I didn't know how a Sunday would go. And again, this isn't going to be typical. I'm still going to probably stick with Saturdays, at least for now. But definitely with the holidays and everything going on, I wanted to test Sundays. So thank you for being my Sunday stream guinea pigs. I appreciate it a lot. And it's worked out pretty well, because I got my first sub and did not expect to get really any subs. Not that I don't think that subbing to me is not a good idea, because I think it is to a certain extent, because it'll help me improve these streams, which I do want to do. Any money that I make from this is gonna, help support my family, but a lot of it at first is going to be, figuring out ways to make these streams better for those that sub, and also just everyone in general. So any money I get is gonna, I want to try to pay it back and pay it forward to improve this experience and build this community. And for those of you that don't know, because I was talking about how I've done this for a long time, I am technically a toy maker. I've made lots of toys. I work for a studio that does so, and I've made action figures for Hasbro and Mattel and Diamond Select. Rest in peace, RIP, RIP. I'm gonna keep saying that because it's a shame that studio is gone, that production house is gone. It's kind of exists a little bit, but it's it's pretty much done for, and it's very sad. But it is what it is. All right, now another thing, I'll probably add this later, but there's a fun texture that's in the back of these things, so I'm probably going to do something there too, but I'm not going to do that tonight. I kind of want to get into the frosting aspect of this, which will be, I think, really fun, and I have a good idea how I want to do that. So I'm going to jump this back up, kind of, again, smooth out some of these lumps to get some of that harsher texture out, smooth it out, and then I'm going to duplicate. So I'm going to have like a dummy version of the cake, and then I'm going to step it down subdivision levels a little bit, and I'm going to get rid of the, if you can see over here in the magnifying glass, there's delete lower and delete higher. And I'm going to get rid of both lower and higher. and that allows me to bring out the clay tubes again. This is what I used for Frieren's eyelashes when I was doing that earlier. So, find clay tubes, and I'm going to basically just draw the frosting on. And I'm going to follow this at first, but I might kind of change it and have fun with it. Oh, what I do want to do also is I want to turn off the helpful bit that I used to make the eyelashes kind of have a point, because I don't want this to have a point. I want these at least at first to be tube-like. There we go. Hey, Josh! Thank you so much for the Prime sub. This is a work of art. Josh, you are a work of art. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. I appreciate the sub. Like I said, all this is going to go toward improving the stream, and as time goes on, hopefully more. Let's see. Not sure what that does. Just started clicking buttons. All right. So that's a good thing to bring up. I can kind of tell you. So as an Amazon Prime member, you get one free Twitch sub every month that you can use on whoever. And so basically it costs you nothing, but it is money that comes to the person that you sub to. So it's basically some free money for you to spend on whoever you want to support. And I appreciate that you have supported me. Yes, the Prime does help. So that means that you have connected your Twitch to your Amazon Prime account. That allows you to do this. So that's really cool. And I appreciate it. Thanks for clicking buttons and doing so. All right, let's see. All right. Bloop. So I'm just going to kind of rough this in. Not go too crazy with it. Kind of get similar to what's going on. And then once I kind of have this roughly how I want it to look, that's when we'll go in and kind of start to add like little extra details. Bloop. No. I guess a little smaller. There we go. Bloop. Bloop. Again, trying to make it a little bit organic. It doesn't all have to be the same. And I'll probably do different frosting for the other ornament, but I'll use this as like a good starting point. Yeah, there we go. I think that's good. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to separate this stuff. So I'm splitting the masked element. Oh, no, that's not what I wanted to do. I think I got to do a drag mask. There we go. So I'm splitting the masked elements, and now the frosting. Delete this. Now the frosting is going to be separate, and then I can use this kind of dummy tree that I have kind of hidden later on. So there we go. So the frosting is kind of there. As you can see, it's like low-level geometry. And what I'm going to do, because I got some elements right here that are separated, I think I'm going to do a fun trick called dynameshing. And then I'm going to remesh it all so I can have these connect, and then I can mess with the lower level geometry a little bit. So Dynameshing, I'll show you. So here's the wireframe, and basically it just creates this gross looking mesh, and it's very organic. Like it just connects everything together if you have multiple pieces. Obviously if they're separated it doesn't do anything, but it just creates this interesting like low level geo kind of thing where you can organically sculpt, and then I can even do a drag mask and it remeshes that kind of stuff. So I'm going to go in and kind of smooth all this stuff out. Round it off. And if we look in the reference, let's see, digital welding. Yeah, it kind of is, for sure. Let's see, oh sweet, well, I'll have to be sure to re-up that every month. Yeah, I mean, I'd appreciate that. That would be really cool if you wanted to do that. I appreciate it. If you find other folks that you're like, ooh, I want to try them out, by all means. But yeah, if I will gladly accept your Prime subs for sure. But yay! So yeah, thank you again, Josh. And Smurf, who is out there hopefully having breakfast and getting a nap. Thank you for being my first 2 subscribers. Let's see, we lost some folks and we got some more people come in. Hello, new viewers who are just watching. Right now, I'm doing kind of like a fun, weird project where I am making a tree cake because I am making a set of tree cake earrings for my wife because she really likes these chocolate tree cakes right here. All right. So I'm not remeshing like I said I was gonna do. I'm actually just gonna work in this for a bit because it is just really comfortable and kind of freeing to work with this type of mesh every once in a while. And I can always change that a little bit later. But I did like kind of how this one drip kind of continued. So I wanted to pull this around, and then now I can bind these little bits. And as you can see, I'm kind of working fast because this is not something that needs to be on model. So I can get to be more relaxed with it, more fun with it. I don't have to go crazy about trying to make sure that this is the most accurate tree cake in the world. Because every tree cake isn't accurate to its brethren tree cake. I can feel my voice getting raspy. Got a drink. That's another thing that I need to work on is the channel points thing. So if you can see that you're earning these channel points that are free, you can redeem them for these little kind of actions or triggers. And one of them that a lot of streamers use is the hydrate. And it would be nice to sometimes get a reminder to hydrate. And I use it often for folks that I know talk a lot on stream to help them out, because when you're on stream, you're just thinking about what you got to do. And sometimes it's easy to forget that you need to also drink some water because your throat gets dry. And yeah, see, I should have been your first. It's kind of my, you know what, Josh? That's just what you get. You were Odious 2.0, the first, you were the first guy, and this is my revenge. You didn't get to be my first sub. But the fact that you are one at all, I appreciate a lot. So thank you very much. How are you doing, Mooney? You hanging in there? Are you enjoying this? I hope. It goes a little bit off of what I was planning to originally do tonight, but I thought it would be fun. It would be fun for me, help me get this done, and I still think I'm in a good place with Frieren, so I felt like I could stray off just a little bit. Yes, oh good. I'm glad you're having a good time. I appreciate you being here and hanging out, and yeah. We got about 5-ish minutes before I'm going to probably stop the stream for tonight, because I got a couple other things that I need to do, even though it's late. But I am happy with the progress so far. There's the autosave, the bane of my existence. Let's see. Clicking more buttons to see. Oh yeah, yes. The highlight message, yes. So that's one of the examples of things that you can do with their channel points. I am curious because like some of those channel point things that are in there right now are just like the default. Let's see. I'm kind of looking to see. Because I don't even know what the defaults are set up, so I'm going to actually have to look that up and figure that out myself. See, supposedly that was highlighted. You don't see hydrate. Yeah, the hydrate I think is one that needs to kind of be added. It's not an automatic one, so that's something that I'll need to add. But highlight clearly is one of the ones that's like a default. So I need to go through and see what's already in there and then add some of the more common ones that I like. And yeah, we'll see. All right, so I'm going to, I haven't saved this yet. And I talked all about saving your projects because I just started this. So I'm going to get this in this view. Look at the pretty tree cake. I'm going to save. I'm going to call it tree. Hey! What? Gifted, man. Oh, thank you so much. And Hankin. Yeah, well, you'll have to message him and let him know. It's gifting 1 tier, 1 sub. Thank you. When I click buttons, you spend money. Clearly. I appreciate that, man. That's really cool. And yeah, and Hankin is the one that got it. Oh, and who else is in here? We got some more viewers. Those of you that are watching, thank you for coming through. Unfortunately, I'm about to end the stream. Right now I'm saving this project that I was working on. I'll explain a little bit as I go. So my wife does holiday earrings, and she wanted some holiday tree cakes, and I said I will make those earrings for you instead of you trying to find them, because I know that they would be hard to find. So yeah, tree cake earrings is what I am making. Earrings. There we go. And save. There we go. So that is saved. So right now, let's see, I'm going to go back to full me. Hello. So this was a nice stream. I appreciate everyone that has come through, whether you've been here for a little bit or the whole time. And yeah, I'm glad that here we'll go back to the scene. Tree cake is looking good. Frieren also is looking good. Really happy with the progress on her, and I'm looking forward to figuring out exactly what I want to do as far as the statue. The next step really for her is I'm going to make her staff, because I think I'm pretty much done as far as just like this fairly detailed base model before I start posing her. And then I'm going to design the statue. I'll probably do that off stream. And then that will give me an idea of what elements I need to create for the statue, what engineering I need to do for the statue and consider. It's back to full me. And yeah, then the next part will be posing, which I really like posing. It can be tedious, but for me it's really fun because that's when you start to really breathe life into the work. And so yeah, I'm looking forward to that part for sure. So gosh, with that being said, does anybody have any questions before we wrap this up? Again, thank you to Smurf. Thanks to Josh for both the Prime sub and for gifting. That's really nice of you. Let's see. And I hope you have a great day. Thank you so much. Thank you. Yep, WStream. I appreciate it a lot. And with that, I hope you all have a great day or night, wherever you may be. And thank you for joining me. Bye, everybody.